Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Tax-Free Living, where I teach entrepreneurs and business owners just like you how to live tax-free. Today's episode is gonna be one of my favorite because I had to put in a lot of work to get the answers to today's episode. So we'll talk about all that in a second. But again, guys, if you're loving this content, if you're loving this YouTube channel, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, because we're going to be coming with more content. We're going to be coming with more gems, and I do not want you to miss them. On top of that, if you haven't secured your spot for the Melanin Money and Social Proof Financial Literacy Podcast Tour, you want to get those seats right now. We just finished our Houston stop, and it was amazing. Fully packed crowd, a completely sold out event. It was amazing. We had guests we interviewed. We talked about financial literacy and short-term rentals and all these amazing strategies that you could be using, but you got to get in the room to get those podcast episodes. So again, if you haven't got your ticket, click the link below to secure your spots, or just go to proofandprofitstour.com to secure your spot for the next city. We have New York in June, Chicago in July, okay? And these seats are gonna sell out fast. So if you wanna get your seats, you wanna secure your spot, and if you get your VIP seat, we are gonna take you out to dinner. That's right, go to dinner with me, ask me all your questions, it's gonna be amazing. So again, proofandprofitstour.com to get your tickets today. Now, let's get to today's episode. So the reason I'm so excited about this episode, guys, is because for the last 12 years, how long have I been a CPA? I think I've been a CPA for 12 years now. For as long as I've had my CPA license, one of the top questions that I've ever been asked is, Carter, is it possible for me to write off my pet on my taxes, right? And my answer for the last 12 years has been no. Like, don't do it. It's not right. You're gonna get audited. There's no way to find a reason that you can legally and ethically write off your pets on your taxes. And then one day recently, somebody asked it to me again, and I was like, yo, if I'm gonna build this brand about teaching people how to live tax-free, if I'm gonna build this brand, teach people how to write off everything, I gotta at least try on this one, right? So I spent 3 days doing research, including calling my personal tax mentor to get his input on this matter. And guess what happened, guys? Guess what happened? After 3 days of long research, I was able to find 5 ways that you can legally and ethically write off your pets on your taxes, guys. I am so excited for this episode because now I have another tool in my tool belt, and I know I can help so many of you all at home. Like, did you all know that 70% of Americans are pet owners? That's crazy. 70% of Americans are pet owners. So that means there are 70% of people with pets that are not writing them off on their taxes. So after this video drops, I know I'm gonna be able to help so many people. So guys, before we get into the 5 ways, let me tell you all the expenses that once you employ one or more of these 5 strategies, let me give you a breakdown of all of your pet expenses that will now be tax deductible. So number 1, you'll be able to write off the food that you pay for your pets. Number 2, any bedding that you pay for your pets will be tax deductible. Number 3, any boarding that you pay for your pets, put them in boarding school or having to host them somewhere while you leave to travel. So the boarding will be tax deductible as well. Grooming expenses will also be tax deductible. Any veterinary care, any medication, and any travel. All of these expenses will now be tax deductible for your pets once you employ one or more of these 5 strategies. So, without further ado, guys, let's get into strategy number 1. Strategy number 1, if you wanna write off your pet on your taxes, is that you can turn your dog into a guard dog for your business. Those are my business owners that have a home office and you have a dog, whether your dog is a German Shepherd or a Chihuahua that can bark, as long as it has the ability to deter people from breaking into your house or breaking into your office, you can legitimately write this expense off as a guard dog expense in your business. So I mentioned to you guys that I called my mentor and asked about this, and he actually had a CPA friend who has been writing off his dog as a guard dog on his taxes for the last 10 years, right? And he doesn't have a big dog. He has a mid-sized dog, but because his dog can bark and just make the noise to scare away a burglar, it counts as a business expense because his mind process. He's an accountant. Do you know how much personal information us accountants have in our files or in our computer, in our flash drives. So if somebody was to break in our house, in our home office, and to steal one of those flash drives, you know how many people's information will be at danger? So this is a legitimate way to write off a dog expense as a guard dog expense, and he was actually audited. He was actually audited, and when he told the auditors the stipulations of the situation, he passed with flying colors, okay? So this is audit tested, right? He passed with flying colors. So writing off your dog as a guard dog is a way for you to legitimately write off your pet as an expense. Now, let me say this to you all at home. Do not put this expense on your Schedule C or your 1120S as guard dog expense. Do not do that. You will be quickly audited. Instead, write this off as security expense on your profit and loss statement. Strategy number 2, right? Now this is for my cat owners, because everybody isn't a dog owner, and I understand that, but this is for my cat owners. So you can write off your pet expenses for your cat if you can prove that your cat is helping your business for pest control. Now we all know that cats are normal hunters of rodents, rats, mice. We've all seen Tom and Jerry, right? So if you have a business, especially a hospitality business, like a restaurant, like a bakery, a coffee shop, whatever, if you have rodents in your facility, people are not coming back to eat there. It has a dramatic effect on your business. If you have a pet cat and you bring your cat to work with you, right, you can legitimately say you're using your cat for pest control, and you can write off those expenses related to your pets. Here's the crazy part. Disneyland has actually been doing this for years. Disneyland uses cats on its properties, a plethora of cats on its properties, to kill off rodents, mice, all these rodents at their theme parks. And they've been writing off cats as a pest control expense in their business for years. So if Disney can do it, why can't you, right? Why can't you? So that's strategy number 2, guys. Strategy number 3 is writing off your pet as a working animal in your business. This is gonna be industry specific, right? Because it's not gonna make sense in every business, but it's definitely gonna make sense in some businesses. So let me give you some example on how like your pet can be an actual working animal or employee of your business. So rescue dogs at a ski resort, right? These dogs actually help find people at ski resorts. So these are rescue dogs which help the business grow and stop the business from having any litigation. Police type dogs in a security business. So if you have a security business and you're protecting people's properties, whether that's a garage or whatever, and you bring your dog to work with you, you can legitimately write your dog off as a working animal in the business. Drug sniffing dogs at events. So I have a lot of friends actually that are event planners, that have event spaces, right? And if you want to keep people from bringing drugs into your event space, and you teach your dog how to sniff out drugs in different suitcases and briefcases or whatever, or if you have a private jet business, same thing, right? And here's an interesting one. Doves at a wedding, right? So if you own a wedding event business and your clients want doves, you can write off the cost of the doves and the maintenance and all the expenses related to it as a legit expense in your business, because people will pay for the doves because they want doves at their wedding. Now, here's the last example. This is my favorite example, and it's crazy because it just now registered to me now when I was doing this research. So 2 years ago, I went to a mastermind. It was a city nearby San Francisco, but it was like 3 hours out, right? So it was like on a farm, and it was really far out. And when me and my 10 entrepreneur friends arrived at the property, we realized that the property owner had 9 peacocks peacocking around the property. So we reached out to him, was like, hey, we reached out to the Airbnb owner and said, hey, like, do you know you have all these peacocks on your property? And his response was, yes, guys. So we've noticed that there are rattlesnakes in the vicinity, and peacocks are the #1 hunter for rattlesnakes. So we put peacocks on our property to ensure the safety of all of our guests. So we were like, cool. But now I'm thinking about it, he can write off all those expenses that he paid for those peacocks, because you best believe if a rattlesnake bites somebody on your property, people are not booking at your Airbnb anymore. So this is a legitimate way where you can write off as a working animal in your business. So that's strategy number 3, guys. Now, strategy number 4 is pretty simple. You can write off your pet as advertisement for your business if your pet is a part of your advertising. So here's a perfect example. I have a client and a friend who has a business teaching people how to train their cats. I am not joking. She has an extremely successful business. She has courses and other digital products teaching people how to train their cats. She's bringing in about $500,000 plus a year on courses teaching people how to train their cats. And guess what? On all of her social media and all of her marketing, it is videos of her training her cat. All of her ads have videos of her training her cats. And those ads bring in clients, which bring in revenue to the business. So she can legitimately write off her cat as advertisement for her business. Are y'all having as much fun as I am? Are y'all having as much fun as I am? This is crazy. This is crazy, guys. So last but not least, guys, the fifth strategy to writing off your pets on your taxes is actually making money with your pets inside of your pet business and using your pets as training. I know that was a mouthful, but let me explain. So if you have a dog grooming business, right? Or you have a pet breeding business, and you have a pet, you can legitimately say that you're using your pet for training. Because how are you gonna have a dog grooming business and you don't have any dog to practice on, right? So I have a homegirl in Atlanta, she has a dog grooming business, she has 3 dogs. I should probably call her and tell her about the strategy. I'm gonna call her after this episode. She has 3 dogs, and she first started her business by practicing on her own dogs. So if you have a dog walking business, a pet grooming business, an animal breeding business, and you're using your dog as training, then you can write off your pet expense as training expense in your business. Because I'm not letting you walk my dog if you ain't never walked a dog before. I'm not letting you groom my dog if you ain't never groomed a dog before. I'm not letting you breed my dog if you never breed a dog before. So if you're using your dogs as training, this counts as well. Let's go over the 5, guys. So number 1 is writing off your dog as a guard dog. Number 2 is writing off your cat as pest control. Number 3, writing off your animal as a working animal in your business. We gave many examples. Number 4, using your pet as advertising. And number 5 is using your pet as training. But I wanted to give you all a bonus, okay? Bonus alert. Because as you know, all of these strategies relate to business owners, right? And I'm sorry, guys, but the tax code was made to benefit entrepreneurs and business owners. This is what it is. But for any of you W-2 employees, I wanted to give you all a special strategy. If you suffer from a medical condition and you have a service animal, you are able to write off the expenses for your service animal as medical expenses in your HSA or your FSA. So let me explain. If I suffer from depression and I had a service dog that helped me get through my depression, I could fund my FSA or my HSA, which is a flexible spending account, or a health savings account. I can put, let's say I put $3,600 in my health savings account. I get a write-off of putting off the money in my health savings account. And then I can use the money in my health savings account to pay for all expenses related to my dog or my service animal because it's helping me with my health. That's good, ain't it? That's good. Okay, guys, so those are 5 ways, plus a bonus, how you can write off your pets or your taxes. Now, please, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and please hit that share button. Because 70% of people have pets and they are not writing them off on their taxes. I want to be the person that helps change that. All right, guys, this was an amazing episode. I'll see you all next time. Peace.